Ooh, child, y'all, it's giving very much cringe how Coleslaw and Sheree are going back and forth with each other for the sake of Martell. It's just giving very much the boy is mine vibes. It belongs to me, is mine. And I don't like it.
Met Synquette, man, a girl was heaven sent. Met Synquette, man, a girl was heaven sent.
From who's the full course meal to who's the side chick or the side piece or the side dish. It's just too much going on between these two and how they're reacting and throwing slight subtle shade. Well, Arionne was throwing like full on shade at Sheree, but it seems as though like Sheree is throwing like that slick shade Arionne's way. But either way, I feel like it's not a good look. This is why Martell isn't the man for either one of them. If you ask me, it seems like he's playing them both because neither one is secure in their position with him as it is without throwing digs at the other one. I feel like when you know a man wants you, likes you, appreciates you, is all for you and all about you, you don't have to advertise why you're so great and how he's coming home to me and blah, 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 blah. And not to say you can't talk yourself up and, talk that talk, because I feel like, yes, brag on yourself. That's all good and dandy, but I don't like it when it's thrown in the direction of another woman to prove a point, to kind of like one up, oh, he's with me because I'm better, because I'm this, I'm that, or that. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it when it's used to gloat for the sake of having a man or a man liking you. I feel like there shouldn't be like a reward or a trophy and none of that, because like I said in another video, these men will humble you. You think you got him on lock like that when you're trying to like tote and boat and float and throw it in the face of another woman, but these hoes ain't loyal. Okay, these men is not loyal. Not all of them, but you know what I mean. Honestly, I feel like now I'm realizing men like Martell are for the streets. Like sometimes people just don't, certain people just are not monogamous and you just cannot put them in that kind of category. Especially if you have to build them up. Just like you guys were saying, a lot of times, I guess Melody was the brains behind their marriage or whatever. So that tells you everything that you need to know right then and there. Because as soon as you build them up, they start acting some kind of way and acting like they can get more and wanting to be more and have more and be greedy off of your work and off of the things that you sold and invest in. This is why you shouldn't build a man. Build with the man, but don't build him up. But that's just my hypothesis, my conclusion. Y'all can do what y'all want. But at the end of the day, I hope both these women can just leave Martell alone so they can have peace. And just so they don't have to feel like they need to bicker and go back and forth and slang mud at the other one. And see, this is a double standard that I'll be talking about. If Martell was a woman with kids, so let's say if Martell was Michelle and Michelle had 4 kids and cheated on her husband and had an outside baby, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I feel as though for her to find another man, it would be a little bit more difficult, but nothing is impossible. But when the reverse happens, the man can find a new woman like that. It's already probably women in his DMs. And I feel as though this is so crazy to me, like the blatant double standard. And I understand we as women, we have our own double standards, but something like this, I feel like should be somewhat of a character flaw or such or so. But yeah, I just feel like this is so interesting. But I guess then again, maybe in our culture from years and years and all along and down the road, it's been accepted that, I don't know, like I guess sometimes we look at men that cheat in a different light than we do as women. Like maybe we excuse it more because we feel as though men are just going to be men and just going to cheat, and that's just how it's always been. So it's more so we are forgiving of that as a culture, a society, or whatever. But I just do find that very interesting. And I also feel as though that even if Sheree is using Martell for a storyline, I still don't like it. Like, why out of all the men to cast in the role of leading man in her life, in the play of her life, why pick him out of everybody that you can choose from? It's just kind of weird to me. But back to the whole the boy is mine tug of war between Sheree and Arionne. I came across this article titled 2 Women Fight Over a Boyfriend. Can't we choose sisterhood over male attention? And I found this article very, very interesting. For one, the person that wrote this story is actually in India. And she mentioned the 2 women that were fighting over a boyfriend are from an upper class family. So that just goes to show you that this isn't just an international problem, but it spreads amongst class. It doesn't matter how much you make. It's something that is just, I guess, deeply embedded within humanity itself. I don't know. But anyway, the article mentioned something that I had to question because it made me think. Remember how back in the day, women would get into a relationship with a man for security, for stability, for love, all the rainbows and butterflies. But now, many women want a relationship because they feel the man choosing them makes them more beautiful and their life valid. And no one man should have all that power. No, but honestly, seriously, I feel like you should not give one man all that power. No, but seriously, that's a lot of power to give one man or a man in general. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I think we all been there where we over-liked someone. We overly invested in someone. We took what they said as gold. We prioritized their ideas over our own. So I do get it. But as the article so beautifully pointed out, why must a man's validation get to decide whether a woman is good or not? It's that part that I want us to really think about. And then this other section, why can't women own their worth? The article said the major reason is that women in our society, in American society too, girlfriend, but women in our society are conditioned to believe that their identity is validated only by men. Only when a man appreciates her beauty, skills, or food, aka cooking, the woman believes in herself. And let me tell you, reading that really hit me to the core because it's so real. The way she put that is just so true. It's always, where is your man if you don't got a man? That's always a flex or a dig or a way to one up a woman. And only truly, honestly, when I think about it, it does seem like the only time women do validate their own beauty is in the face of a man or because they got a man. Just like I said before in the whole Danny Lay situation, the yellow bone is what he wants. She probably wasn't talking about or gloating that she was a yellow bone, but it was only because he wanted it that now she's bragging and boasting in that. You know, it always, I'm not saying that all women do that, but for the most part, it does seem as though when it's time to pop your stuff, be that it girl, you're doing it because now you feel like you got a man, somebody like you kind of thing. So now you feeling yourself. But to me, you know what I'm always going to say, the real flex is to love yourself and validate yourself, whether you have a man or not, whether you're in a relationship or not, whether you're going to college or not, whether you have a job or not. Your worth, your value, your intellect is not predicated on anything external, anything that you feel as though you need to achieve or to do. Is literally something that you have because you were created in the image of God. So you came into this world worthy, whole, completed. Everything that you need, everything that you are, everything that you could become is already within you. You know what I mean? You got the key to unlock every door that you're supposed to walk inside of. So you don't have to change or prove yourself. Of course, yes, approve upon yourself. Do what you feel like you need to do to be whole or to feel better. But it's all extra. You already a glazed donut. So if you want to add some sprinkles and cinnamon and icing on that thing, then okay, but you already taste good, look good, work good, you something that everybody wants, and you're always in demand regardless, so I just want us to feel that way about ourselves. But nevertheless, what would have been more fly is when TMZ had asked Sheree you dating Martell, and instead of her saying yeah, we're hanging out, blasey, 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 she could have said something like, yes, Martell is one of my very good friends, to let it be known that she's still on the market, she's still accepting application, the role of being her man is not fulfilled, so he can feel as though he's competing for her and not the other way around, not her competing for him. I don't like that. I feel as though women are the prize. Remember my book? He is not the prize. You are. So I just don't like it. And I feel like they put Martell as a prize because they're fighting over him. And because it's only one of him. So I wouldn't feel a certain type of way if Sheree was dating other people. But it does seem as though she's putting all her eggs in one basket without a title for real, or without a ring, But at the end of the day, it is her life. But I honestly feel instead of Sheree and Coleslaw competing against each other, when Martell most likely doesn't want either one of them, they need to understand that, to me, I feel as though if Martell had it his way, if there was a real life reset button, a reverse, like a reverse button.
Reverse.
Where he could press it and go back in time, I know for a fact, well, let me not say I know for a fact, but I feel as though I strongly believe that he wouldn't have even said one word to Arionne the day that they initially met. He would have just walked on by her, act like he didn't know her. But overall, I just want women to see competing for a man isn't worth it. I'm not sure if y'all heard about this story where the one lady, what she did to the other lady. I don't want to say, just in case, I get a copyright strike or, I don't know. I don't want to say, but, if you see on the screen what she did, because her boyfriend, the one that's supposed to be loyal to her, was cheating on her with somebody else. And I know that this is an extreme example, but it gets real sometimes like that. And I just hope that both Sheree and Arionne move on and that they can learn something from this. In my Tyra Banks voice,
learn something from this.
Because honestly, I feel as though a lot of times we try to build bonds with men, but ultimately sometimes it's at the expense of breaking the bond that's supposed to be unbreakable that you have with yourself. So it's just something to think about. But I don't know how my videos always take a turn, but they be turning. But nevertheless, thanks again for listening, for rocking with me. I wanna rock with you. But honestly, truly, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got something from it, and gives us something to think about, because you know how I be feeling. Now, I'll say this with my chest: you are the prize. You are the good thing to be chosen. You're the favor, ladies. Not to say men are bad, but you know what I mean? Like, you the one that make a house a home. You're the one that makes a seed and turns it into a child. You're the one that gives life to the man's dreams. So you are the necessary partner. You are a benefit. So act like it. But honestly, I know I don't need to tell y'all that. But, just something to remember. Other than that, I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.